During World War II, South Africa provided the Allies with the Marmon-Herrington series of armored cars. This series of vehicles, which began development on the eve of the war, produced a total of 10 different models during the war, with over 5,000 vehicles built. Among them, the Mk6 was a particularly special model, as it was a heavy-wheeled combat vehicle developed under the influence of German armored cars. The earlier versions of the Marmon-Herrington armored car were light four-wheeled vehicles, primarily armed with machine guns. By the time the Mk4 was developed, it was equipped with a 2-pound gun, 40mm caliber. In 1942, the Mkv armored car was developed, which was an experimental model for this series of heavy armored cars. The appearance of the Mkv was directly related to the development of the German heavy 8-wheeled armored car. The designers enlarged the vehicle body to a 4-axle, 8-wheel chassis, powered by two 6-cylinder engines, although only the middle 2 axles were powered. The entire vehicle was covered with thicker armor, and the sides of the vehicle had skirts covering the upper half of the wheels. A 6-pound gun, 57mm caliber, was installed in the rotating turret. Only one prototype of the Mkv was built, weighing 16 tons. Despite its strong firepower, it was not suitable for combat. The Mkv laid the foundation for the main character of this article, the Mk6, which was more of a technologically optimized version. Its power was changed to two 95-horsepower Ford the 5th 8 engines, with an 8-wheel all-wheel drive mode, and steering achieved by adjusting the front and rear wheels. It had better maneuverability than the previous generation. The vehicle had a conventional structure, with a single-seat driver's cab at the front, followed by the fighting compartment, and the power compartment at the rear. The armor protecting the armored vehicle was adjusted, with welded steel armor incorporating a sloped design. The thickest front armor reached 40mm, making it relatively strong among wheeled combat vehicles at that time. In 1943, two Mk6 prototype vehicles were built in South Africa, each with different weapon configurations. They had turrets similar to British cruiser tanks, with one vehicle equipped with a 2-pound gun and two 7.62mm Browning machine guns mounted above the turret, and the other vehicle equipped with a 6-pound gun and a single anti-aircraft heavy machine gun mounted above the turret. Both vehicles used a 2-person electric turret. At the time, the British were very interested in the Marmon-Herrington Mk6, planning to purchase 250 vehicles. The prototype vehicle with the 2-pound gun was sent to Britain for testing, while South Africa kept the vehicle with the 6-pound gun. The Mk6 was overall better than the Mkv, weighing about 5 tons less and having better maneuverability, but this did not mean that it had already developed into a mature vehicle. The reason the vehicle used 2 engines was because South Africa could not find a suitable high-power engine at the time. However, using 2 engines to ensure power output led to cooling deficiencies and poor off-road performance, especially in the North African desert terrain. British tests also found too many axle and gearbox failures, rendering it impractical. After severe axle wear, the vehicle was abandoned and replaced with the M6 and M8 armored vehicles provided by the United States. The British surviving vehicle is housed in the Bovington Tank Museum, while the South African vehicle remains in the local National War Museum. The Marmon-Herrington Mk6 8x8 heavy-wheeled combat vehicle weighed about 11.2 tons, with a maximum speed of 65 km/h and a maximum range of 400 km. The crew consisted of 3 people: the driver, the vehicle commander, and the loader.